By the way, we're matching.
My God, we are. We didn't even know. That's how you know, though, that we didn't know. We were backstage at the Grammys. This is like the coolest surprise and also the coolest honor to have Avril Lavigne just hanging out.
You're like the sweetest person ever, and this is my first interview today. Thank you for being so warm and welcoming.
Anytime, all the time, and I do hope that like you do come to the studio and we dive deep because I told you.
I would love to.
Mi casa es su casa forever and always.
Okay, awesome.
Complicated changed my life. Can we start there?
Sure.
That record just it made, I don't know, it kind of like introduced me to feelings in like a really weird way. And it was the first song that I heard that like kind of expressed things that I was actually feeling in that moment. And I was in like middle school and it was people were performing for the talent show. It just became more than an anthem. It became a song for a generation.
Mm-hmm.
Is it crazy do you ever look back at a record like that and think about it all?
That was such an exciting time for me. Complicated is so special to me because it was my first single and the first song I heard of myself on the radio. Writing it with Lauren Christie, sitting in California, one of my first trips to California, sitting outside in a backyard with orange trees, but the whole thing, everything around that song and just like represents a lot for me. But I still love being up on stage and playing Complicated. But I'm so happy to hear that it really resonated with you.
Again, I'll say it resonated with the generation because it was a song that we were kind of waiting for, and it was a song based on events that were happening before and after, all throughout that period. We kind of needed.
Mm-hmm. With my music, it's always like I always write from stuff that I'm going through, especially on this new album that's coming out in a week from today.
February 15th.
So when I pour my heart and soul into my music, and so when I hear that, it touches people, it makes me feel really good because my songs come from real places.
Are you in them?
Yes.
Part of you is. Mm-hmm. Mentally, physically, emotionally, obviously. Mm-hmm. You remembered all the details around you recording Complicated, even though it was so long ago. Do you value those moments? Do you value the moments where you have the opportunity to be yourself and kind of take yourself and take your feelings and put them to paper and then put them into music?
Yeah, I mean, songwriting for me is so important. Like, I didn't even know if I would be like making music anymore, and so I just spent the last 3 years working on this album and writing songs. I wrote some songs from bed as I was like healing, and spent so much time writing these songs and put so much into it. And this process for this album was different than the others, but every album has its story, and it's a whole journey for me.
Every album has its story. It represents you in that moment. It's truly authentic.
Mm-hmm.
Scary to be that honest and that open in a song today?
I am such an honest and open person anyway, and very in touch with like my feelings that it sort of comes naturally for me.
I get that.
Yeah.
Was it ever scary to be open? Or was it always natural?
No. And like I have songs, like a lot of songs on this album, I've had to be like really vulnerable. And just completely open up. Like with my first single, Head Above Water, like I wrote that song about my struggle with Lyme disease and almost dying, and like I just had to go there. Like I couldn't help myself, and I have songs like I Fell in Love with the Devil on this new album, and relationship songs, health battle songs, and then just other stuff that I've gone through with personal struggles. And as an artist, as a songwriter, no, it's not scary. It's almost like, I'm sure everyone says that it's therapeutic or whatever, but it feels good to be able to, it's healing. And it helps me. Just like, how people say, like, in a relationship, communicating is healthy. It's like doing that with yourself.
I totally understand. It allows closure, right? It puts a period on that chapter. They're wrapping us up already, but Head Above Water, a beautiful introduction to this album. You mentioned the devil. What does the devil represent in that song? I don't even know it. It hasn't hit yet.
It's
February
like
15th.
It's one of my favorite songs. I fell in love with the devil, and I also produced that song. I produced a song called Warrior, and they all just like are coming from different places that I've been, different experiences or relationships I've gone through over the past 3 years. I've gone through so much. My battle with Lyme disease, and like, you know, obviously I like went through a lot with that, and then just other stuff. But like having the time to live and to have a bit of a break and to like write this entire body of music over the past 3 years has been good for that. But the devil song is one of my favorites. It's coming out in a week. You have to listen to it. And then I want to sit down with you in your studio on the comfy couches, like have some wine, and let's go through every...
I will go track by track.
Yes. Can we do that?
It is not just a date. It's
or
going to be...
you can come to my house, to my studio...
Either one.
And we can make it like a fun like listening party together. I would love that.
I mess with that. In a big way.
Yeah? Deal?
I think
Let's do it.
We got something. Love.
Oh.
You're awesome.
No, that'd be so cool.
I'm in. I'm 100% in.
Okay, good.
February 15th, that is the album, and it's exciting. I can't wait to do this. This continues. Doesn't end here.
And you have an invitation to my house. So we're going to like hang, go through the songs, talk about them. I'd love that.
I think people are going to love it too.
Okay,
really,
yay!
I have a lot of friends, my peers, my generation, our generation.
Yeah.
They've been waiting. They want it.
Yay!
It's a story that needs to continue. Avril Lavigne,
thank you.
You're the best.